Hey guys, it's Cole from Cole's Quilts, and I wanted to come on here to talk about my patterns and how they are different. And I just kind of want to explain why they're different and also just sort of ask for some feedback. Let me just say real quick, one of the reasons why my patterns are different is because my personality is when I want to do something, or if I see something cool and I think I can do it, I go, oh, I can do that. And I just sort of do it, or I just try to attempt it myself. And unless I hit a wall where I'm like, I'm not trying to do this, and then I'll go, oh, how do people do this? And I'll go and research it. When I started writing my patterns, I was really just writing them for me to use. And then I started getting feedback from people that were like, hey, do you have the pattern for that? I'd really like to make that. And so I thought, oh, well, maybe I should make it look a little nicer so other people can use them. And so I had never used a foundation paper piecing pattern, I'm gonna be honest. Before I tried doing it myself and just wrote my own patterns, I never bought a pattern. Now, since then, I've bought and seen other people's patterns. But because of that, when I started creating my patterns, I didn't go, oh, this is how they're written. I just kind of was like, what would make the most sense? And I just sort of came up with a system. So some of the people who have used my patterns have noticed and mentioned that it's very different. And there are some things that I think people are like, oh, that's cool. And other things people are like, that's hard. I don't know about that. And so one of the things that's different that I want to talk about is the seam allowance. It's not drawn around every section. Now, why? Few reasons. I have had some people look at my patterns, like when I've worked with a tech editor or I've talked to people about my patterns, and I mention, oh, well, this pattern is 108 pages long, and people are like, what? So I tend to make very big and complex patterns. They can have a lot of small sections and pieces. If I were to do this in the way most foundation paper piecing patterns are done, where each separate section is drawn separately with its own seam allowance, it would basically double the pages of my patterns. I really designed around the idea that I want you to be able to print it out on regular printer paper at your home and make the block as big as it can be, where it can still fit on the printer paper. When you print it out, nothing will get cut off. That's the reason why I don't put the seam allowances in there, because to be frank, it would just make them so big. Now, I could still just be like, you know what, they're gonna be big, it's fine, I can do it, and I've sort of experimented with what that would look like. But let me tell you the other reason why I don't. One of the things to me that's annoying about paper piecing, I love paper piecing, but the one thing that's annoying is pulling the papers out. One of the things in the way that I do it that I like about being able to pull the papers out is when you sew together two sections and you don't have paper in that seam, it's easy to sort of reach your hand in and pull that paper out. You also have less bulk. If I had seam allowances on every single section, that would basically double the amount of paper that's in seams that you have to pull out, which I think is really annoying. But I'm open to change. If people would find it easier and would prefer it for me to put my seam allowances in my patterns, but keep in mind that that would almost double the amount of paper that you'd have to print out and that would be in the file, please comment, let me know. What do you think? One other thing is that I color code my patterns. So I have like a red line, because I don't draw them separate, I'll have like a red line that means you're supposed to cut that into two sections. And some people have said, you know, they don't have a color printer. I could go in and maybe make it a dotted line or a thicker line or something like that. So if you feel like, gosh, it'd be so much easier if they weren't color coded, or you're like, no, I like the color coding, again, please comment, let me know. I call my little business I have Cole's Quilts, but it's just me. So everything you see on my website and everything you see me do so far, it's just me on my computer trying to do something that I really enjoy and trying to do it well enough that other people can enjoy it too. So I am totally open to feedback. Also, let me throw in there before I go that I'm gonna be teaching at Sew Expo. I did post another video about this, but I'm gonna let you know, I'm be teaching at Sew Expo on March 2nd. And the class I'm gonna be teaching is about how I design my foundation paper piecing patterns, if you wanna be able to learn how to design too. So if you're gonna be there, please look up my class. I would love to see you there. Please give me some feedback. These are my projects I've been working on. Look at Princess Peach. All right, bye.